And we will start in the center mode now. Okay, here we go.
Welcome, everyone. It is so wonderful to see all of you here today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Annie Campbell Washington, and my pronouns are she, hers. And I'm Senior Assistant Dean of Academic Programs and Dean of Students at the Goldman School of Public Policy. Welcome to our admissions session today. We are happy to be here and happy to answer any questions you might have about the Goldman School. So first, I want to run through the agenda of our session so you know what to expect. And of course, we'll have time for questions at the end. We will do quick introductions of our admissions team that's here today. We will have an opportunity to hear about student life from two of our students who have joined us here today. One is in our Master of Public Affairs program, and one is in our Master of Public Policy degree program. We will be providing you with brief overviews of the MPA program, the MPP program, as well as the Master of Development Practice program, the MDP, and then we'll take questions and answers at the end. So for all of you who are here, do please stay muted until the end when we do our Q&A. You can hold your questions until the end of the presentation, and then you can either enter them in the chat or you can use the raise your hand function to take yourself off mute and ask us the question that you would like to ask. We will record this session so that we can share it with others who weren't able to join us today, but thank you all for being here in person. We really appreciate it and look forward to chatting with you. Thank you, Leslie. So first, again, I'm Annie Campbell Washington, Senior Assistant Dean of Academic Programs and Dean of Students. My preferred pronouns are she, hers, and I'm actually an alum of the Goldman School. I got my Master's of Public Policy degree back in 2000, and then went on to a long career in local government and served in many different aspects of the city of Oakland, which is a neighboring city to Berkeley. And then I came back I came back about 6 years ago to the Goldman School, and first to run the Master of Public Affairs program, and then now in this role that I'm in now. So it is my pleasure and honor to work with all of the students of the Goldman School, as well as staff and faculty. I cannot say enough good things and positive things about the school. It is deep in my heart. So I'm happy to interact with any of you and take questions as we get to know each other through the admissions process. Thank you. So Simone, I will pass the mic to you for a quick introduction.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Simone Bryce, and I am the Associate Director for the Master of Public Affairs and PA program here at the Goldman School, with a background before coming here in local government and also commercial clean energy finance. Leslie?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Leslie Hightower. I'm the Associate Director of MPP and PhD admissions. I also have a background in career services. I used to be a career advisor at the Goldman School. So thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for being interested in learning more about our programs. I'll hand it off to Tina now.
Hey everyone, it's so wonderful to be here and to meet you over Zoom. My name is Tina Kushner. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Associate Director for the Master of Development program. And I'm really thrilled to be here just to be able to share more information about the Master of Development practice.
Great. And now I'm really honored to have our two students introduce themselves. Amrutha?
Hi, y'all. My name is Amrutha Ramaswamy. I am an MPP candidate who is graduating this May in 2024. So this is my second year. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to chat with you all. I learned about the Goldman School through an event like this several years ago and went through the skip peer recruiting process that I'll talk about later. Thanks.
Thank you, Amrutha. And Stephanie?
Hi, everyone. Stephanie Hernandez, on pronoun she, her, ella. I'm an MPA candidate, and I'll be also graduating in May of 2024. And, as you'll briefly learn, the MPA is only for 1 year, so I'm more than halfway done with my program.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay. So first I'll share just some highlights of the Goldman School of Public Policy in case you're not yet familiar with our school at UC Berkeley. We were founded in 1969 as one of the very first public policy schools in the nation, and we're consistently ranked as one of the top public policy analysis programs in the country, often ranked #1 in policy analysis, social policy, public affairs, and we have access to top graduate programs across the gamut. So we have our students often take courses not just in the Goldman School, but across campus at the Haas Business School, the Information School, the Law School, Public Health, you name it. So you might know this, but if you don't, I'll say that public policy students, public affairs students are very interdisciplinary, very interested in problems across the spectrum. And so it's an incredible opportunity to be a student here at UC Berkeley and be able to take courses not just at the public policy school, but across campus and learn from renowned faculty in all of these different areas. So to touch on the faculty at the Goldman School, you'll find when you go to our website that our faculty are top researchers in public policy issues in every public policy area, whether it be criminal justice, social policy, poverty, inequality, in climate change and energy policy, you name it. And we also, because we're a professional school, really believe in bringing practitioners to teach in the school as well. So we have folks who have served in former presidential administrations. We have folks who have served at the state and local levels, as well as just policy practitioners who are working in the fields that our students want to go in. So we really try to do a focused effort to make sure that students have an opportunity to take courses not just from tenured ladder rank faculty, but also faculty members who have and continue to be practitioners in the fields. We are preparing all of our students, regardless of whether they're in the Master of Development Practice program, the Master of Public Policy, or the Master of Public Affairs. We are preparing our students for a diverse set of careers, whether it's in domestic policy or international policy, whether it's in the private sector, public sector at any of those levels, local, state, federal, international, and also in international nonprofits, local nonprofits, national nonprofits. So our students cannot be pigeonholed. They're interested in every policy area and take on a diverse set of careers. But the amazing and beautiful thing about being a GSPP student is that you have immediate access to the Goldman School Alumni Network. And our alums are very committed to mentoring students, helping them get those steps up into the careers that they're looking for. And we make sure to offer practical experiences through internships, through capstone projects, and help with that job search after graduation, which leads me to speak about our overall team. The Student and Career Services team are there to help and guide you along the way. So we have academic advisors that are ready to meet with students to help as they are choosing courses. And we also match all of our students with a career advisor who meets with them throughout their time at the Goldman School and beyond to ensure that they have a guide to help in their career trajectory. So when you're a student, we know that part of the role that you are taking on as a student, not just a full-time student in courses, you're also doing your work to prepare yourself for that career when you graduate. And our career advisors are trained as coaches and have the skills and abilities to help you get on that path that you're looking for. I cannot speak highly enough for our career services team and our student services team. Thank you, Leslie. So when you join the Goldman School community, it is a community of policy influencers. As I mentioned, we have a Master of Public Affairs degree program that you can complete in 12 to 14 months. It's incredibly flexible. You can complete it while you're working full time. And Simone will go into more detail about that program. We also have a 2-year full-time Master of Public Policy program where you are a full-time student for 2 years. And Leslie will be speaking more about that in detail. We do also have a 2-year full-time Master of Development Practice program, and Tina will be sharing more details about that program. We have an acclaimed PhD program that is small and intimate. At any one time, we have about 12 to 15 students in the PhD program. And we have an undergraduate public policy minor. I love talking about the minor because at any one time, we have 600 to 800 undergraduate students enrolled in the minor, which gives me great hope for our future that there are so many undergraduate students who have already learned about public policy and are learning and hope to head into careers involving public policy. And finally, you can learn more about our research centers on our website, but it's a real benefit to our students that we have all of these research centers where you can actually take on some research roles while you're a student, if that's something that you would like to do. In the MPA program, actually, I was going to tell you how many students we have in each one, but I know that Simone, Tina, and Leslie will touch on that. Thank you, Leslie.
All right. Thank you so much, Annie, for that wonderful overview of the Goldman School and also the programs that we support. And as Annie mentioned, each of us will be going into a little bit more detail about the specifics and logistics of our master's programs at GSPP. But now I want to transition a little bit into discussing student life and engagement, which is why we have invited Amrutha and Stephanie here today. So first I want to talk about student clubs because student clubs are very active and lively at the Goldman School. And many students choose to become more actively involved and learn about different cultures and policy areas by joining student clubs. So this is just a sample list of some of more of our, active clubs, but we have a full list of our student clubs and also their descriptions on our website. So each year we host a student club fair as part of our new student orientation. So incoming students can learn about these clubs and opt in to participate because it's not just about completing your studies, and working and all of those other things that come along with being a graduate student, but we also want you to have fun and participate in extracurricular activities. So if you don't see an interest either on this slide or on our website, if you do decide to come to the Goldman School, please talk to the student services team because we are very supportive of launching new clubs. New clubs are actually born every year, and we think it's a really important thing to invest in for our students. So one of the student clubs featured on this slide is SKIP, which stands for Students of Color in Public Policy. And SKIP is a very active and robust presence, at the Goldman School and certainly on campus at Berkeley. And we have invited Amrutha here as a representative of SKIP to discuss some of the activities that they do on campus, including the peer advising program for prospective applicants. So Amrutha, please feel free to go ahead and share with the group about SKIP.
Awesome. Could we enable screen sharing? I have a couple of slides.
Oh, sure. Hold on. Let me stop sharing my slides. And then keep going.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Somewhere in here should be the slideshow button. Here we go. Okay. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the Students of Color in Public Policy. It's one of several clubs that I'm associated with on campus, but I have to say it's one of my favorites. We do a lot of work on advocacy and community building, and it's just such an incredible space to be in. So I want to talk a little bit more about it, but before we do, I want to do a quick land acknowledgement. UC Berkeley sits on Ohlone land. As members of the Students of Color and Public Policy in this community, it's important to us that we recognize the history of the land on which we stand. And this is just a really quick acknowledgement. And thank you to the Ohlone people for allowing us to be on this space. Thank you. Okay, so our mission and goals, our mission mainly is to provide a support network for students of color here at the Goldman School. We provide a lot of forums for discussions of policy implications, programmatic implications, stuff that we learn in the program. And beyond that, I think it really fosters such an incredible sense of community. I've really, really felt at home at the Goldman School, and I think largely it is because of the community that Skip has built. And more than that, we do community building events. We have a great race and policy symposium that happens every spring that we plan. And this year we're working a lot on advocacy, both inside and outside of the school, and alumni engagement with our Skip alum who have gone on to work really incredible jobs, so we can learn how we can go from the advocacy and community building we do here at Goldman into these like established institutional policy spaces. So I'm really excited to do my role in this, which is peer advising. So we at Skip do peer advising. It's a long-standing tradition with the Goldman School where we coordinate with the admissions team to recruit peer advising participants who are potential applicants like y'all and advisors who are students of color at the Goldman School who can help edit your personal statement. So this year, the deadline to do this was actually on Friday, but because I'm talking to all of you today, if you are interested, we do have some advising capabilities to take on people late. So if you're interested, please send an email. There'll be email at the end of this little slide deck, and I will put it in the chat as well. We would love to chat with y'all. And even if you don't have an essay that you are ready to submit, someone will be able to make some time to talk to you and have a one-on-one conversation about the program. So it's really important to us to make sure we have space to include students of color and anyone to apply to these kind of programs. I think it's scary to apply to graduate school. It's scary if you don't know anyone who's ever applied before, but we want to provide that service for you because this is a service that I personally benefited from. My Skip advisor a few years ago helped me get into this program and also edited the essays that I sent to every program. So we want to do that for y'all. These are some preliminary stats. So in Skip in general, we have 80 members this year as part of the people who are already in the program. This is people who are currently applying. So you can see that we have nearly a third of LGBTQ identifying applicants, over a third of international applicants. And so we really want to make sure that we're uplifting voices of people who maybe don't know anyone who's applied to grad school before, or they just need some support, and we want to support them and we want to support you. So please reach out to us here. So we have an email address for Skip Peer Advising. You can also email me personally. I would love to talk to you. Really, this is like, I'm so thrilled to be doing this role, and I really, really hope that you reach out. I think it's being able to talk to someone who is in your field and can level with you from like your positionality from just where we were at a couple of years ago before we applied, I think is really valuable. And I hope that you reach out. And also follow us on Instagram. We do a lot of cool stuff, even if you don't come to Goldman. We do a lot of advocacy and outreach and things, and we want you to be part of our community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amrutha. That was wonderful. And for providing those slides too. That was great. And I've been talking with Amrutha about, Skip peer advising throughout the whole fall. And I also want to let you know, I made some gift bags for all the Skip peer advisors, some Halloween gift bags. I have them, so I'll bring them to campus tomorrow and hopefully we can connect and you can share the goodies with everyone who has volunteered because we really do appreciate you. So next, we are going to invite Stephanie to unmute and share a little bit about her student experience at the Goldman School, and then we will get back into the slides. So Stephanie?
Yes, thank you. So once again, Stephanie Hernandez. I am MPA candidate. To tell you just a little bit about myself and kind of what led my journey, right, that led me to the MPA program. I'm actually first generation Mexican American, first generation to graduate and get my bachelor's, and also first generation working professional, meaning that anyone that came before me, meaning my parents worked blue collar jobs. So I was the first one with quote unquote an office job, right? So I think just navigating the school system itself was very daunting. And I would just speak on something that got me more into policy was my first experience really seeing the impacts of what it means to have meaningful policy to whether or not it is favorable to our marginalized communities. It was with Prop 227. Because of Prop 227, which took away my bilingual classes, I actually had to learn the English language at the age of 10. I was just thrown into an all English class. And I always wondered, like, what happened in that year that I had this huge impact in my education. I look back at it and eventually that's when I learned it was through a state policy that was passed by voters that really had an impact on my education. And I had no say in it. So kind of that kind of led me to my trajectory to really look like, what can I do to make meaningful impact in my community, especially here in the city of Los Angeles. Born and raised in Los Angeles, and I moved around a lot. So I grew up in communities like Boyle Heights, East LA, South Central, Watts, ended up in Compton. So as a working professional, I hit this wall where it's like, I feel I've learned everything I could through my professional experience. What's the next step? And through one of the MPA alum had reached out to me that I had worked with previously through some consulting job I had in the past. He's like, you know what? I just graduated from this program. I think you would benefit from it. And I was like, I'm a working professional, work full time. I'm a mom of a soon to be 7-year-old. There's no way I could leave my work, my job to go to school full time. He's like, don't worry. I knew that would be the case. Let me explain to you the program. So without taking away Simone's thunder, I'm not going to speak too much on it, but I would say the program has allowed me to still stay with my current employer. I was able to take some time off in the summer and expressing to my employer the applicable, just all the things I was learning were so applicable in just my day-to-day work. They saw the value of the program and they actually gave me additional time off to finish off my second portion of the summer program. After that, I am still currently with my employer. So now I am residing back home in the city of Los Angeles, and where I'm taking virtual classes. And at first I was very worried to be like, I'm gonna lose out on meaningful curriculum. I'm not gonna get quality classes being virtual. But I was quite impressed on just, again, as Annie mentioned, just the practitioners we get to interact with in these classes. Being virtual has not taken away its value. I've learned so much. I've had I had a diverse set of, I was able to, for my classes in the fall, I didn't feel limited to the classes I wanted to take. I did want to have an emphasis a bit more on the area of growth, which is having more analytical and budgetary, excuse me, I'm having a little bit of a cold, budgetary and analytical approach to my work. So it has been very helpful. And, you know, despite being virtual, I was able to find some classes where it required a day or two to be in person or a hybrid. So whenever I can, I'm free. I have flown over a couple of times to Berkeley to take advantage of some of the hybrid classes to still have community building among my peers and not just stay completely virtual. So overall, I would say that one of the highlights of just being on the MPA program is I continue to be a full-time working professional, being a full-time mom, and, you know, being almost, I would say, a full-time student at the MPA program. And I would say it was definitely, till this day, I would say, I found it very valuable. And I think it's really important as a working professional coming back to school after 10 plus years. I think even the professors have been extremely helpful in identifying areas of growth and really just be that extending networking that you want to continue excelling professionally while still being in the program.
All right, thank you so much, Stephanie and Amrutha. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Can everyone see me? And then I'm going to jump back into the presentation view. Okay. So after hearing, a bit about the student experience, we wanted to make sure that we highlighted some resources at Berkeley that support graduate student diversity, because Berkeley is such an interesting and dynamic place. We have students from all over the world, all over the country, with various backgrounds and experiences. And I truly believe that Berkeley does an excellent job to create programs, to create places for people to feel at home and build community. And on this slide, we just have a snapshot of some of the varied support systems that Berkeley students can reach out to. So I just want to highlight a few out of the many. So there's the Tang Center to address not only your physical health, but your mental health care. Being a graduate student can be very stressful. So it's really important to take care of yourself, both mentally and physically. And Berkeley does have excellent healthcare benefits for students so that you can really take care of yourselves while you're here at the school. There's also the Basic Needs Center and Food Pantry to help combat food insecurity. There's the Berkeley International Office to support students from abroad. There's the Student Parent Center for students with children. There's the Office of Graduate Diversity, who put together this wonderful event today. There's the Undocumented Students Program, the Gender Equity Resource Center, the Multicultural Community Center, and many, many more. So this is simply the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more, but we honestly couldn't fit it on this slide. We just really wanted to demonstrate how rich the support system is here and that there is something for everyone, which really speaks to Berkeley's culture of inclusivity. So now I will hand it over to Simone to discuss some details about the MPA program.
So thank you, Leslie. So the Master of Public Affairs is the MPA program, and it's the Goldman School's mid-career program. How do we define mid-career? That is, all of our students have reached a leadership level at work, whether that is an actual management position or just leadership responsibilities, heading a project through an important project through an organization. You see here the typical cohort profile. We range 50, 60 students, sometimes a lot more than 60 students. We're looking at expanding the program right now. The largest cohort we've had in the past is 74 students. As I mentioned, as a mid-career program, our students tend to be a little bit older with an average age of 35, although the age range is really 26 to 50. We're 33% unrepresented minority, 35 to 40% international. And I want to point out that a lot of our students are coming from a variety of backgrounds, not just the governmental sector, the nonprofit sector, but also the private sector, whether that be tech, finance, attorneys. And so they come to us either to accentuate what they are doing. So for example, if they're in tech, then they want to learn about policy, or they're coming to us for a career pivot. They're leaving their current careers. Leslie, let's go to the next slide. So we are set up for working professionals, super, super, super flexible. All our students start in May. It's a May start, summer A. Summer A is kind of like a boot camp. You're in class all day long, 8:30 to 4 o'clock for 6 weeks. You're covering most of your core classes. So that would include policy analysis, strategy, innovation, and leadership, research methods, inferential stats, and economics. Those students who cannot join us during Summer A, which begins in May, we're debuting this year what we're calling a Summer Flex program, which starts in June, and it's just 2 core courses, and that can be taken remotely. So then those students, and that's really set up for students who, we get it, you're working professionals or you're international students, a lot of logistics to move to get here to join us in May, and that's why we're introducing the Summer Flex. Then all of our students return are in the same cadence for summer B. Summer B, you see it highlighted here. It can be taken immediately after summer A, that's the 12-month program, or it can be taken the following summer, and that's the 14-month program when you take summer B. And you do not need to decide when you apply, when you're going to take summer B, you decide in June. So students take summer B. Summer B, there are a lot of remote options. And then fall and spring. Fall and spring can be taken remotely or in person or hybrid, as Stephanie described. Fall and spring, you're taken from across the university course catalog, so lots of class selection. Lots of our students return to work full-time and are able to still continue with their degree cadence. And then in the spring, our students do a capstone project, which is a real-life project. We're working with a real client that the student chooses. You're collecting data, you're analyzing the data, you're presenting the data, all the skill sets that you've learned. And a lot of our capstone projects result in real changes, organizational changes to the client. And I want to mention too here that the capstone is also a class. So while you're doing this data crunching gathering, you're also meeting weekly with an instructor, fellow students, just to workshop everything, making sure everybody is on course. Leslie, next slide, please. I'll just wrap up really super quickly with the admissions. So if you're looking to apply to us, remember when you go to graduate admissions website, look for a summer start program, not a fall start program, because we start in May. Our first deadline is December 4, which we really encourage everybody to apply to, just because, again, as mid-career professionals, our students have to deal with a lot of logistics, clearing things with employers, maybe student visa issues in the case of international students. So summer 4 is the best for our students, gives you the longest runway to prepare to join us in May or in June if you do the summer flex. So that's coming up. We've got a second application deadline of February 1, and then finally we go into rolling admissions through April 1. And here I want to point out that there is no admissions advantage to any of the deadlines. But again, the earlier you are aware that you can join us, if you apply December 4, you will know by the end of January or the first week in February what your application status is. And then you'll have that time to put things together to join us. Leslie? Sorry, now Leslie will go over the MPP program.
Okay, I had to unmute myself. I keep on forgetting to do that. So I will go over really quickly, very quickly, some of the logistics of the MPP. So as opposed to the MPA program, the MPP program is a 2-year full-time in-person program. We really think that it's important for students to be on site, to have the particular experience that the MPP has to offer. We don't have part-time and we don't have hybrid for the most part. You can expect to be on campus with us for 2 years for the MPP. We are also STEM designated as well. We have a very rigorous quantitative core curriculum that also emphasizes real world experience, which I think is something that threads throughout all of our master's programs. There's this really great balance of pretty intense academics, but also paired with practical projects so that you really start using your skills early and building your resume so that by the time you finish the program, you're very well prepared, to have an excellent career of your choice. For the MPP program, you can either train as a generalist or build your own informal concentration through taking electives during the second year of the program, and also making sure that your practical projects kind of are focused in that area where you want to build a strong specialty. The MPP is also pretty flexible and very multidisciplinary. I will go over a sample course schedule a couple slides from now, but because of our generalist philosophy, we give you a strong foundation of core in the first year, and then the second year is pretty much all electives. We also offer several concurrent degrees because public policy can be applied to so many different things. So we definitely have, that flexible and multidisciplinary angle if that's what you're looking for in a program. So I also want to just briefly go over our class profile because I often get questions, about this from applicants. We do have these statistics on our website, so I recommend taking a look more closely if you're interested. But this is really just to provide a snapshot of what our incoming class looks like. And many of these data points can change throughout the year. It really depends on who decides to come to the Goldman School. But typically we have a cohort of about 80 to 90 students because we really want to kind of keep that intimate feel. Even though Berkeley is a very large institution, the MPP program is pretty small amongst our competitors, and everyone in the cohort takes their core courses together so that you can, not only help each other and support each other through those difficult classes, but also build relationships. So a couple of the statistics that stay pretty steady are our average years of work experience and average age. Typically, students bring approximately 3 to 5 years of full-time work experience into the program before applying and being admitted. So we do not we don't have a minimum work experience requirement, but we do like to see folks have some work experience coming into the program. And if you have any questions about why we think that is a good thing, I'm happy to discuss it with you. But I just wanted to highlight those points for folks just to let you know that we do like to see some work experience coming into the program. Next, we have a sample MPP course schedule. Basically, your first year is your MPP core. We want to make sure that you get a very strong foundation in public policy analysis training so that when you do your full-time summer internship between your first and second year, you're very well prepared, to use these skills and also to test these skills to help you make some decisions about the second year of the program when you have this elective space to either take classes at the Goldman School or classes in basically any other department across Berkeley's campus to, enrich your degree and really gain the skills or the policy topic area knowledge that will be beneficial to you when you are applying for full-time jobs. So there are 3 practical projects that are required. The first takes place during the first year. It's your Intro to Policy Analysis project, where you will be working with a group of students with a client under faculty supervision to prepare you for your capstone advanced policy analysis project that you'll do in the spring semester of your second year. So between your IPA, your full-time summer internship, and your capstone, you have 3 excellent resume builders in addition to the coursework that you're taking to really show your mastery of public policy analysis skills. And again, the second year is where you really have the flexibility to, make your degree your own and seek out the courses and experiences that will help prepare you for your full-time job. And now I will hand it over to Tina to discuss the Master of Development practice.
Thank you, Leslie. As Leslie had mentioned with the MPP program, our MDP program is also a 2-year full-time in-person program. The Master of Development practice degree is a STEM program, and it's focused on preparing students with the skills that they need for or to be a development practitioner. So to give you a sense of the current MDP cohorts, I wanted to provide some statistics about the students who are a part of it. So please keep in mind that these statistics are averages and there are ranges. So if you're above or below these numbers, that's okay. We value diverse cohorts and what everyone brings with their own experiences. Next slide, please. Thank you. A little bit about the MDP program. It's a total of 50 units and it includes 10 core classes and a capstone. The first year of the program is designed to give students a core foundation of development, and students will complete courses in areas like economics, decision-making, science, leadership, public health, management, and policy. And then in the second year of the program, students will complete any remaining coursework and have the ability to take any electives that might be of interest and work towards completing their capstone, which is a culminating final project. If we take a closer look at the first semester of the program, students will take a foundational coursework in development practice, sustainable resource development, an optional introductory quantitative methods course, and also core requirements in the natural resources and health sciences area or business development, finance, and innovation. Then in the second semester, which is a continuation of additional core coursework, students will take classes in strategic planning and project management, impact evaluation, leadership and conflict resolution, development economics, and political economy. And then over the summer, between the first and second year, students will complete a required internship. So again, and then in the final year, students will finish off any remaining core elective requirements, take those electives that they're really interested in diving into. And then in that second year is really the opportunity to be able to work towards the completion of the capstone, again, typically in the form of a final project. So overall, the MDP program is designed to provide a foundation of development practice coursework in the first year, and then allow students the flexibility to expand upon those topics in their second year.
Okay, so Tina and I are actually going to kind of tag team this slide because the application requirements for the MPP and the Master Development Practice are very similar. So we have, kind of a quick and easy online application checklist here, but on our website, we have an expanded version of this that goes into detail about, all the descriptions of the things that, we need for you to have a completed application. But we require a traditional resume, 3 letters of recommendation, unofficial transcripts for all academic institutions that you have attended since undergrad. We have a GRE requirement or a quantitative resume alternative. So you may decide that you don't want to take the GRE, but if you are not going to submit GRE scores, then we do require that you submit a quantitative resume. We do not require both. It should be one or the other to fill this requirement. Some applicants may need to take official TOEFL or IELTS and submit those scores to us. We require a statement of purpose, a personal history statement. We also want to put on this list the application fee waiver because we understand that applying to graduate school can be costly. So please check to verify if you are eligible for an application fee waiver, and you could submit that through the application portal itself. And then I also like to add this application status page to the list because this is where you can check on the status of letters of recommendation that you're waiting to be submitted or official scores. This is also where your application fee waiver status will be updated as well. So please head to our website and review the full application checklist, but we wanted everyone to know exactly what is required. And I will turn it over to Tina to share some things to keep in mind about the cycle.
Absolutely. So in addition to the pieces that Leslie outlined, I want to make sure that I also highlight some important points and reminders about the application as well. So first, the application deadline is December 4th. So please make sure to mark this date on your calendars. The MVP and MPP do not have rolling admissions, and we do not accept late applications. Also be sure to review our MDP and MPP application checklist on our website. It's important to include everything that's on the list and to have a complete application for review. And also keep in mind, everything you submit as a part of your application is important to us, and we will look at all of it. We also want to remind you that we're here to help you with this process throughout any point. So there are resources and ways to reach out to us if you have any questions or would like to schedule a one-on-one meeting with us. There's a link on each of our program websites to sign up for those one-on-ones. And we really encourage you to do so if you have any questions. All right. Again, if you need to reach us, we have each of our program emails here. So don't hesitate to let us know however we can help, whatever questions that you have during the application process. And I think with that, we'll move on to the Q&A and open it up for questions. I realize we shared quite a bit of information and there are probably many questions that you'll have. So we want to open it all up to you. Please feel free to use the raise your hand tool. We'd love to hear directly from you, and we'll also be sure to monitor the chat and the Q&A.
We've got a couple raised hands. Omalola, sorry, I probably pronounced that so wrong. I gave it my best shot.
You got it.
Oh.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm happy, to meet you guys. My question is based on the GRE or the quantitative resume. So I started reading about the requirements like back in September, and I did not see that. For me, yeah, it's maybe I missed something, but the thing is I checked like multiple times. So the GRE was made optional, and there was nothing like the quantitative resume. So hearing that now and going back to the website, it's like maybe something was added, or maybe I missed something out, because like I said, I didn't see that before now.
Which program are you interested in?
MPP.
MPP?
Yes.
Okay, well, this is actually the same requirement that we had last year. So it would have been on our website since last fall, and we just updated the requirements for fall 2020 for the fall 2024 cycle, usually in late August, early September, before the application opens. So I'm not sure why you weren't seeing it, but I'm glad that you're able to see it now. But that is our requirement. We have either the GRE or the quantitative resume, and there is a tips document for writing your quantitative resume, as well as a sample that we did add to the website this year to give folks some more guidance and guidelines on that quantitative resume piece.
All right, thank you.
Yanit, or I'm sorry, just go ahead and unmute yourself.
No worries at all, Yanit. And I guess I just had a two-part question in some ways. You guys mentioned the interdisciplinary options, and I saw some of them are listed on your website. I just didn't see one for double majors or concurrent degrees. Is there a potential opportunity for doing something like getting an MJ from the School of Journalism while doing the MPP? Is that an option / possibility? And The second question was, are you guys going to be doing any in-person tours or events? I live pretty locally. I live in San Francisco, the city. So would love to see if there's any options to tour the school itself, and maybe you do one of those office hour sessions in person and take advantage of being close by.
So was that a question? I'm sorry, I couldn't make out if you said MPP or MDP.
No, MPP. Yeah,
MPP. Yeah, so
MPP,
we
yeah.
have several concurrent programs on our website. They are all listed. We have an MPP JD, an MPP MSW, an MPP MPH. We have 4 MPP MS degrees with the College of Engineering. We do not have a concurrent degree with journalism. And we actually had an open house on October 18th where we invited students to the campus to participate in some community activities. So unfortunately, we won't be having another event like that this fall or winter, but you're welcome to plan an informal visit to campus and have a meeting in person to discuss the program.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you answering the questions.
Any more raised hands, or how's the chat looking? Are there any questions that we should take from the chat?
I think the chat is covered, but we can look through the Q&A.
I think I see.
Hi.
Alexis, did you raise your hand? I heard
Yes.
someone.
Yeah, I just had a question. I am currently working at a government role right now. And I've been looking into programs, and I'm curious from the students' perspective and the staff as well. What would you look for in terms of like if the MPP program is the right program for you versus the MPA program? Like what are the differences between those two? Are they more like technical differences, or would you say curriculum ones as well?
I can jump in here really quickly. So the MPA, because we accept quite an age range. I think our youngest student this year is 26. We definitely have admitted as young as 25. As a rule of thumb, the younger you are, the more that leadership experience has to be demonstrated, versus the older you are, the more leadership experience is assumed. There are 2 key things that I speak to when I speak with prospective applicants. That is one, financial aid. The MPP program, typically there's more financial aid resources, and it is a conventional master's degree program. So those financial aid resources are not only coming from the university, but also from third parties, because you fit in a conventional program, whereas the MPA program, our students do find third-party resources, but it's just not as available. And the degree program, it does not quite have as many financial resources, and we can set up some time to talk if you need to get more into that. And then the other super huge factor in deciding between the MPP and the MPA, if you meet the profile of both programs, is just kind of where you are in your career. I mean, if you've got a lot of career momentum, if you just got the dream promotion that you've been looking for, if you are working for a politician and you want to keep on that politician's coattails, a lot of people choose the MPA program because you've got that 6 weeks for summer A where you have to take off of work, or you don't even have to do that when we're introducing the summer flex program. But then a lot of our students are working full time. So if you've got a lot of career momentum going, a lot of people choose the MPA because it does not remove them from the workforce for 2 years. Of course, the idea with the MPP is you are investing in yourself, and so you're gonna level up when you return to the workforce. But that just doesn't work if you just get that dream promotion, or you want to keep close contact with your work relationships than the MPA.
Thank you, Simone. I would like to chime in as well, just to say that what Simone was just talking about is really the crux of the matter. Is the MPA program is a 1-year program, either 12 or 14 months, that has been designed specifically for a working professional. So we know that there's a need for some students to have a very flexible program that can work while you're working. Maybe you are a parent, maybe you're caring for elderly parents, maybe you are needing to stay working full time while you get your master's degree. If so, the MPA was specifically designed for you so that your core courses, you can complete them during the summertime, and either in an online version or an in-person version. And the online summer core is a new addition this year. And Simone was calling it the Summer Flex. The true difference is you're either starting online and completing your core courses in a bit slower fashion, or you're starting in person in very compressed, getting your core done in the summer so that you can then open yourself up, regardless of whether you started in person or online, to a full fall semester and a full spring semester where nearly everything is electives. You do have to take a core capstone course in that final spring semester, as all of our students do. They all take that capstone course and complete a client project. But the MPA is designed for a mid-career professional person who is very clear on why they're coming back to get their master's degree and have that ability to develop an individualized program. So you have all the space in the world in the fall and the spring to choose your own electives, whether they're at the Goldman School or across campus. You're really designing your own degree program. You're taking either in-person courses or online courses in a very flexible manner, so that you can, as a working professional, get all of this accomplished. You can keep your job and you can also get a master's degree at the exact same time. Contrasted with the MPP and the MDP are 2-year traditional programs where you are a full-time student. You're no longer working in most cases. You are a full-time student taking a full load in the traditional fall, spring semesters over the 2 years. In the summer, in between your 2 years, you're doing the summer internship. So you're really a full-time student, although many of our students do take on some type of work while they're a student in order to help finance their education, whether it be one of those teaching assistant positions or whether it be something outside of the university. So I hope that's helpful, but if there's more clarification. Oh, and then as far as the curriculum for the MPA program, you are still getting that toolbox. So you're still learning policy analysis, research methods, econ, quant. You're still getting the traditional Goldman School toolbox, but you are doing it in a way that has been designed for a mid-career professional. So we know that our students coming out of the MPA are going to be stepping into mid-level manager or leadership roles. So they will be less needing to actually be the analyst crunching the data themselves, but more somebody who's in a leadership role needing to make a decision about that research or that data, and need to be able to look at those research studies and make decisions about them because they're in a leadership role. So the curriculum has been taken from the MPP core, but created and designed for a mid-career professional. Okay, I'll stop now.
Thank you, Annie. So we have reached the noon hour and we were asked to definitely, keep this to the proper end time in case folks need to transition to another session. So unfortunately, we won't be able to answer any more questions, but I did drop the email addresses of each program's contact info so that you can reach out to us and we'd be happy to answer, the questions that we were not able to get to. So thank you everyone so much for joining us, and we hope that you will follow up and that we can stay in touch and that you will decide to apply to the Goldman School. Thank you. Bye-bye.